Am I betraying veganism by eating these eggs? That's what I want to talk about today. So, let me give you a bit of background. I went on a trip up country recently, and I had the privilege of staying at a very nice guest house. And the guest house was on kind of like not a farm, but a small little holding, a nice big property with a little section where they kept a couple of animals that kind of like chickens, and I think there might have been a goat roaming around freely, living all happily, doing their thing. And I thought this was cute and it was nice. And I went about doing my thing. And the next morning, just before I was about to leave, and the lady that owned the guest house, she came around and she bought me this little basket, with 4 fresh eggs. And she said, here, here's some fresh eggs from the chickens, for you to eat for breakfast. So I was like, okay, thanks. I told her already eaten. And I actually had told her the night before that I am vegan, that I'd become vegan recently. So it was nice. I don't know why she brought it, but I mean, she's just a hospitable lady. So, bless her. I appreciate the thought. So initially I thought, I'll take the eggs and maybe I'll give them to someone that I know that does eat eggs, that's not gone vegan. And then I was thinking to myself, well, why am I not going to eat this? Like, let's think this through, right? So I started to do that. I went through the thought process and I said, okay, so what are the reasons that I've gone vegan and don't eat animal products? Well, number one is the health reason. Fair enough, right? And we all know that there are lots of health issues linked to animal products, even dairy and eggs. So that was the first reason. The second reason was because of ethics, right? And the way that the animals suffer, the way even if they're not killed or they're not used for meat, they still suffer in the way that they're kept in factory farming and used to produce things like milk and eggs. So those two were kind of the facts that were undeniable. There's also the environmental sort of consequence of it, but let's say we're just talking about eggs in this case. So I thought to myself, okay, in this case, I've seen the animals, they're happy, she treats them well, they're walking around freely and that, they look healthy. There doesn't seem to be any problem with ethics here, right? The animals are happy, they're laying the eggs on their own accord, and there's no sort of ethical issue with it as far as I can see. Well, then what's left? Well, then you've got the health sort of aspects of things. Well, we kind of make these trade-offs every single day, like if you're living your life healthily 95% of the time, now and then, like even someone like me that's really into my health and my fitness and that, you make exceptions. Now and then you'll have a cheat meal, you'll have maybe go out and have a bit of junk food or a little snack or something like that. We all do it, right? And it's really bad to get into this kind of black and white thinking where you say, oh, I don't do this, and you live like, so strictly for your whole life and you just miss out on the good things. There's nothing wrong with, living healthily most of the time, and every once in a blue moon, you have something nice, right? It's all about the compound effects of what you do. So if the bulk of what you're doing is good, your health is generally going to be good. If the bulk of what you're doing is bad, then generally your health is going to be bad, right? An exception here or there when you're good most of the time is not going to be, the end of the world. So we do this with alcohol. We do this with like a snack or a treat or going out for dinner or a bit of takeaways. Even healthy people do this. We have a treat every once in a while. So considering that the ethical side of things, there's no problem. Well, then if I'm willing to say, okay, once or twice a year, if I get a nice gift like this, from someone, and I know that the animals were treated well, you can see, even these eggs, they don't look like normal eggs, they're white. So, there's no sort of aspect there. I'm willing to sort of, deal with the health aspects of it for an exception here or there. What's the problem with that? Why is it that I shouldn't eat these eggs? Is it because I'm so strict and black and white that I've subscribed to this label of vegan that now I'm going to be banned and outcast if I make an exception in this case? And it's not really an exception. If you eat the eggs, you're just going to a vegetarian from vegan to vegetarian. As some of you may not know, vegans don't eat any animal products whatsoever, but vegetarians still eat eggs and dairy. So it's really like just making an exception like that. And I was wondering, like, am I going to be so anal about this that I can't even look at things in perspective and make a decision based on that, but rather because I've got this label that I've given myself, I can't make an exception for this. So that's really what the thought process that I went through, and I couldn't quite decide. I haven't decided yet. You know, I've kept the eggs. Maybe I'll give them to a guest. Maybe I'll eat them, share them with a guest. Who knows, right? But I'm going to put a bit more thought into it, and I thought I'll put this video out so that I can get feedback from you, especially if there's vegans watching this. I'd love to hear your feedback, because I really want to know, am I missing something? Is there something I'm not seeing here that that makes a strong reason for me not eating these eggs, even though there doesn't seem to be an ethical issue here? Maybe there is an ethical issue and I'm not seeing it. You know, maybe I'm just blind. So that's why I'm putting this question out there. Like, if you can see some reason why I shouldn't eat these eggs, other than the health aspect, which I'm fully aware of, and I'm willing to make that sacrifice, then please let me know. Because otherwise I think it's just really stupid just to, you know, be so black and white and anal about a topic just, you know, to fit a label so that you do it. And I know a lot of vegans may get like up in arms and uproar about this, and I hope not. I hope we can just keep this as an open discussion, you know, come to a conclusion based on logic and reason. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I'm going to keep these here, and I'm going to see what sort of feedback I get, keeping them in the fridge. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'd really appreciate your feedback on this. If you have any feedback or input, leave it in the comments section below. Let's get a bit of a dialogue and conversation going on this. And I look forward to reading all of your messages and responses. And I will see you in the next video, guys and gals. Adios.